Hello, Just Too Good here, and recently, all the LEGO Batman Movie 2018 sets have been revealed. Billions of sources, many people have covered it, so let's make this a full thoughts video. Alright, so from bottom to top, the first is the only one I would call a bad set, the Bat-Dune Buggy. I'm hoping it's 15 bucks, but it looks like it could be 20. The Buggy is basically a better version of the one from the Ra's al Ghul set, which was the only weak part of the set in my opinion. However, the best part of the set is the fantastic Captain Boomerang minifigure. He's different from the 2016 version, and I like this more classic look. Then there's the Justice League Anniversary Party, which I think will be 20 to 30 bucks. This set is awesome. I mean, rarely do we get just the plain play sets that don't seem to have much play features in them. Of course, this is much like the double-decker couch set from the original LEGO movie. It comes at the end of the theme, you get desirable minifigures and previous minifigures with new prints in the playset. So glad we get this classic version of Green Arrow and a really chipper new face for Superman. Also, it's our first Wonder Dog, Hawkgirl, and El Dorado figures, which all look fantastic. I also really like the new Bat Records. I really have no complaints on this set, other than the fact that Green Arrow should have dual molded legs. Then there's the Egghead Food Fight set, which I'm guessing is around $30 to $40. This is another great set. The Egghead minifigure is hilarious. The new molding for the top of his head will be incredibly useful in other situations. Then the Condiment King figure is great, but not perfect. I wish they included the recolored Lego squishy pieces the movie counterpart had. I understand why they didn't, since now they have a play feature, but these recolors would also be incredibly useful. And for the mech, it's a great build. I see a lot of Lego mechs, and I've said this many times, but a lot of these mechs look the same. However, mechs like this prove that LEGO still has fresh mech ideas, and this one has a unique cartoony round feel. The egg part probably helps to this, but it looks like something Dr. Eggman from Sonic would use. An odd part about the set is the use of single printed round tiles to illustrate Cracked Egg. Not sure why they didn't just use a round 2x2 jumper with a round yellow 1x1 tile in the center, but hey, they'll take a new print. Then there's the Harlequin Cannibal attack set, which is an odd mix of play set and vehicle. I like it, but I don't love it. I guess this is around $50 to $60, and the Cannibal truck is a weird scale. It reminds me a lot of the Killer Croc's truck, oddly. However, I really like the cannon. I think that this is an interesting build and is so much more interesting than the cannon in the Batwing set. Then the side buildings remind me a lot of the Catwoman jewelry store, which I like those kind of simple buildings. Of course, for the minifigures, it's great to finally see Gentleman Ghost, who has some great simple design to him, and Crazy Quilt, though I wished he had arm printing like he did in the movie. And they did a great job with exclusive Harley Quinn minifigure. I like a new twist on an overdone character like Harley Quinn. Then there's the Bat-Space Shuttle. This is another great set, which I'm still hoping it will be $80 or under, but LEGO seems to overprice Space Shuttle sets. Much like the Harley Quinn set, it's very odd. I mean, a Space Shuttle in a Batman line? I don't know. But it's a lovely looking full Space Shuttle, which I really appreciate. There's no cut corners on the build. The kayak is nice, and I think that's the first time it's in black, as is the Moon Rover. The side build is very strange and inconsistent. It's a suit rack, but it doesn't match the style of the one in the Batcave, so I don't get the difference. However, those suits are awesome. I love the Reggae Man bat suit the most. I'm amazed they actually made that, but gosh, that mask slash hat combo is incredible. The Firestarter suit is cool with that new dark red cowl. The astronaut bat suit, it's nice new inclusion, but probably the worst of the bunch. Though it probably makes the best sense of inclusion for it. There's one thing I don't really like about the Reggae suit, and it's something that just couldn't have been fixed realistically. There's a plain white on the torso instead of a bare chest. Now, this is something they can't fix because I don't think they would have included Batman in the suit already. I feel like LEGO thinks they need to have Batman in his main suit up front. They're probably right. So we're stuck with the white mannequin design, however, it's not terrible. Let's just act like it's an undershirt. Now I'm raving those suits, but the three actual figures sort of suck. We get the same Catwoman from the insanely cheap Catwoman Chase set, meaning no figure in that set is exclusive anymore. Batman is the same old Batman, and Robin in his casual outfit is identical to the collectible minifigures. I despise when they reprint collectible minifigures. Thankfully, the face print for that collectible minifigure in Shark Repellent is still exclusive. And of course, there's a Joker Manor set, which I believe releases today actually, or yesterday. I did a full thoughts video on this a while back, but in summary, this set is phenomenal. It takes a design that could have been great insane, like the Wayne Manor, and adds cartoony stuff and makes it even better and insane. I love theme park stuff, and in here we have our first roller coaster pieces and funhouse mirrors with the load of little references and nice consistent design. I also love the friends or family variants included. Anyways, that was a lot, but dang, this wave is 100 times better than what I thought was a weak summer 2017 wave for the LEGO Batman movie, and a good closure to the LEGO Batman movie line. Of course, there's the second collectible minifigures line, which has leaked, but we're waiting for official pictures for that. Anyways, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.